We're live, baby.
Hey, Star Wars fans and Rule the Galaxy friends, welcome to a little Christmas celebration with the Rule the Galaxy
Christmas,
crew.
Christmas time of year, time of love and time of cheer.
And as you can tell, that is not my voice. That is the lovely voice of Brent Dykman, one of our regular co hosts here. And we're going to do a little sharing of time during Christmas in the Stars right here as I show my.
Oh my God, are we gonna play some C-3PO?
No,
Get
we're not going to
copyright
play any
struck?
C3PO. No Anthony Daniels. Although in his book, I Am C3PO, that is a fantastic part of it where he talks about his time recording that because he was the only one of the Star Wars group that went and recorded that. So none of the other characters, yeah, they had R2's beeps and boops and everything else, but not part of that. So hey, it's chapter 356. We are 356 of the Rule of Galaxy podcast, just talking a little Christmas, a little holiday season as you are hopefully having some eggnog or some hot chocolate, maybe sitting around an open fire talking about Star Wars and having fun. Brent, what do you got for me?
Who drinks eggnog?
my in-laws.
Do they now? Do they adult it up with some beverages?
Yeah.
Got to. It's the only way to do it.
When we spent probably, I think I spent Christmas at their house for 5 or 6 years in a row in upstate New York, where we would go there, and then eventually it changed to our house now for it. But they every year when they would decorate the tree, they always had eggnog on like a platter with like, I think what do you mix with eggnog? Vodka? Is it vodka or whiskey or something? But they would do that. But I couldn't drink it, man. I can't have like a dairy alcoholic beverage. I can't do that.
I've never had eggnog in my life. The only time I really ever think about it or whatever is during Christmas vacation when Clark and Eddie are having eggnog and it looks disgusting.
Don't go falling in love with that. It's gonna leave when we leave next month. What, Tenement on Wheels?
I love when Clark's wearing the dick or Eddie's wearing the dickie underneath the white sweater. That's just terrible. Terrible. So yeah, I really just wanted to talk because look, we're all part of a little family here, so we're going to be all chasing our tails over the holiday season. I wanted us to talk a little bit about our Christmas, what's going on with it, our Christmas memories, what Star Wars memories maybe we have with Christmas, and I'll go all the way back, and since I am the old man of the crew, everything from 78 on, 78 to 83 or whatever, Christmas was related to Star Wars. You were getting, my mom and dad took all the pictures of me opening up X-Wings and TIE Fighters and the Death Star. And every time there were Star Wars characters, good little Catholic boy, we would get something on Easter morning, even. It's different than Christmas, but we'd even get action figures then, right, in our Easter basket. So Star Wars has been a part of everything holidays for me all the way back to 77, 78. And I was old enough to know or be a part of the group that couldn't get Star Wars guys in 77 because they weren't there. And we get something saying we're going to be getting Star Wars guys, right? And that was gift enough. But that, and then Christmas in the Stars came out, back in, what year was this? My gosh. I don't even know. You guys talk about it, but something's been about Star Wars ever since 77 for me. So do you guys have any good memories? I know Ryan Massengale, my friend who you used to be on the show and has talked about it. He just remembers that day when he came out on Christmas morning and his mom had Santa and his mom had set up the Millennium Falcon with characters all in it, waiting for him under the tree. And he can still remember that to this day. So what about you guys? D-Doc.
Sorry, I was muted. I'm going to start it with a question for you, Joe. When Christmas in the Stars came out, like, obviously it's pre-social media, like all of that stuff. How did you know, because you were dialed in as a Star Wars fan when that came out. So how did you find out about that? Is that just something that you just saw like on the shelf at the store? Did you see it in a magazine that this is happening? Like how do you remember that happening?
You know,
Hold on. Doc, there's these things, they're called malls.
I know that. I grew up. Here's the thing. I am a transitionary child. So I grew up in normal times that transitioned to now boring times because, like I feel like everything is just a little less exciting now without the in-person excitement of things that you could find. But like did you just see like advertisements for it and you're like, what the hell? There's a Star Wars Christmas album?
like most things, the only things that I can remember being on commercials on TV were the action figures or like Star Wars Underoos. You remember Underoos, right, Brent?
Yeah, I know the Underoos.
Yeah. So we had a lot less to choose from back then. So when you would go into a major store, we had record stores, we had bookstores, we had big stores like Sears, Blocks, Pennies, things like that. They would have whole areas just dedicated to Star Wars because it was so big. They were missing out on tons of revenue if they didn't have it. So anything related to it at all, they would have it out there. So I think I probably saw it probably at a record store or bookstore with the album. I don't remember any commercial for it at all. And so my mom knew how much I loved Star Wars and she made sure we had it. And honestly, even my brothers and sisters, the only sibling that I have that even likes Star Wars is Tony, and we're 18 years apart. So Tony wasn't born until 1989, and I want to say Christmas in the Stars came out early 80s, maybe 1980. I don't even know. Anyway, I'll have to go look that up. But so my brothers and sisters who didn't even like Star Wars, this was their connection to Star Wars. Every Christmas from when it came out, they wanted it played on the record player. We would play the album of Christmas in the Stars, but I don't remember anything about a commercial for it or seeing any big marketing for it. It was just there.
I think happened.
Yeah. Yeah. Thinking of that, it's just like, I didn't know that there was a Han Solo series of books until I walked into a bookstore and there on a shelf were Han Solo books that came out between the Star Wars movies that I was like, great, I have something else to read to go along with the movies, right? I mean, that was really it. So I don't know how it officially started, except once I got it every year during the Christmas season, me, my mom, my dad, my dad really didn't like Star Wars at all, but my siblings all would listen to it. And it was it was like Bing Crosby, Nat King Cole, Christmas in the Stars. So it was just weird like that.
I love it. That's awesome. And I have your burnt CD, and I plan to listen to your burnt CD with my kids this Christmas after I finish this kitchen up. But yeah,
I think your kids will get a kick out of it. Now, Adam Parker sent us the Baby Yoda, the Grogu Christmas things. Did you guys listen to any of that?
No.
Don't. It's I don't know how he and his daughters listen to it. It's brain numbing. It's a little high pitched voice, like even higher pitched than what you think Baby Yoda would be, singing about chicken nuggies and all these kind of things at Christmas time. So very weird. And I sent it to Joey, and he said he played it for Frankie, and he was like, "What is this?" He was like, "I want no part of this." So Christmas in the Stars. Again, if you go back to the IMC3PO book, and especially the audio version of it, Anthony Daniels talks about making this, and he was the only Star Wars character in it. I mean, it was just one of those things. It caught magic in a bottle, and I don't even know if you can still buy it anywhere. I have no idea. I know on YouTube you can listen to it, but I'm not sure it's not on any like Apple iMusic or iTunes or anything like that. I don't know if it's on Spotify or anything, but YouTube's the only place I know to get it now. But it's a big memory of mine. So What about you guys? Do you guys have memories directly related to Star Wars? I mean, I think later on, obviously, we can all talk about the sequels and Rogue One coming out at Christmas time, which was great because here you are at Christmas break, or it was kind of starting the Christmas season to be able to go watch that movie with people. But what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I'll say that for a large percentage of my life have always gotten something related to Star Wars for Christmas, and I think it probably started when I was around. It was when Power of the Force stuff was going on in the early '90s. So I can't pinpoint a date, but I know that I have VHS tapes of me getting the Millennium Falcon from Power of the Force, and I had the Slave One, I had the Snowspeeder, I had the X-wing. Like I there was a point where I became a fan of Star Wars, and it's so like foggy to me because I've asked my mom about like how did I become a fan of Star Wars, because like you, Joe, my dad hates it, which like my dad, as he's getting older here, I don't think he's ever watched it at all. And it's like a bucket list of mine to get him to sit down and be like, you watch all these dumbass movies all the time that are like I would never watch in my life. Sit down and watch this and tell me it's a bad movie. Because I think he just grew up in a generation where it was like he chose to be like anti sci-fi movie for whatever reason. But that Millennium Falcon is where I can pinpoint, like, I just remember opening that, and I know it's on tape. It would be so great to share that with you guys, of like 6-year-old me, like opening that up and just being like, oh my God, and like freaking out about it because the box was huge for it.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's still at my parents' house. It's in a box in their basement. There's a lot of broken pieces on it and everything, but that's where it starts off for me, and then I just think it continued on from there. I mean, I just think that it was pretty easy for people to be like, get Dave something that's Star Wars and he's gonna love it, and it's still true to this day. Because if people don't know what to get me, I'm like, give me something with Star Wars. I like, because I'm going to like it.
It's a good call. Good call. How about you, Brent?
I didn't get gifts. No, I'm joking. I got cold. No, like both of you guys talking about like opening the presents and stuff like that, and I'm sitting here. I'm picturing the room where I opened the presents in. I'm picturing my brother and everybody opening presents, but I'm not picturing a single gift, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I do know there was one year. We were probably 8 or so. Or sorry, he was probably 9 or 10. I was 8, maybe even younger than that. And Dad got us wooden bats from Toys R Us and wrapped them up. And I was like, wowee, a block of wood. So I do remember that one. I'm sure I had all of them. I remember playing with the walking ATST. I remember having the Jabba sail barge. I remember having a board game that was Luke walking down, and it wasn't even from the movie, but the Sarlacc pit, and there was like a bridge over the top of the Sarlacc pit, and there were Gamorrean guards that you would put along the way, and we would knock them into we didn't even play the game. We would just walk down with Luke and knock the Gamorrean guards into the pit, which I'm sure is pretty much what every child who got that game did with that game. After they maybe tried to play it one time, they're like, nah, it's just more fun to knock shit into the Sarlacc pit. I mean, Y-Wings, X-Wings, yeah, I don't think I ever had the Death Star playset. I don't think I ever had the Jabba. I think I had some Jabba stuff. I had the Scout bikes that ejected. I had the ejected Scout bikes. Where you hit the button and it popped off the back because they died when they ran into the trees. I'm sure I had I remember going to a friend's house, it was a family friend, right? So my mom wanted to have a meetup with her friend, and they had kids our age, so the obligatory play date, and we just had all of this stuff all laid out. Like he had a ton of stuff, I had a ton of stuff, um, but usually it was just when I saw their stuff, I dug through it with like the Vader collectible play set with like looking at the different pieces that were in there, not really caring what the names were because I didn't buy into the names. I didn't study the names. I'm sure that's a shocker because I still can't even name characters now. I just say that guy, and you guys are like, "Oh yeah, that's so and so," right? Like,
Glup Shido.
I mean, or like Walrus Man and like whatever, all of them. Like, if I know a lot of them now because of playing my stupid game and playing RPGs, but I couldn't tell you a Nick Toad from a week way when I was 8 years old. But I'm sure Joe could.
I couldn't now. I don't know. Yes.
I'm trying to think of like just other Christmas things, but yeah, like all of the toys. But I'll be honest with you, this is kind of where it comes. Like I didn't get into the collecting of the toys. I didn't get into the keeping of the toys. They were to be played with, and I remember GI Joe toys.
Yeah.
Way more impactful in my time. GI Joe was a solid distraction, and I remember getting toys and buying toys, GI Joe stuff.
Well, Brent, I will say you were born in what year?
80.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you think about it, you were born in the year that Empire Strikes Back came out. You were 3 when Jedi came out. So, unfortunately, everything about Star Wars has fit so well with my age throughout my life. I was 6 when Star Wars came out, 9 for Empire, 12 for Return of the Jedi. I had Joey, who was 6 when Phantom Menace came out, right? Yeah, he was younger. Obviously, he was born in 93, but I went and bought some of the Power of the Force things when it was what 95, 96, when the special editions came out. So Christmas to me was still, even though I was an adult and now I had Joey, I was buying action figures for him when he was 3 and 4 and 5 years old. Not that was the main Christmas present, but I was always adding some in.
Yeah.
Until he became 6. And then let's face it, the Phantom Menace was such a big, like it took over the world in marketing of everything. So to be able to give him all of that stuff that came out for Phantom Menace when he was 6 was huge to me. It was like I was reliving my childhood, buying those for him and having Santa bring those for him, and to where I got to be a part of it again.
And so that hit me when I was 16, 17, 18.
Yeah.
When the special editions came out, moving into the prequel era. And that was when, not to necessarily say too cool for school, because I was cool with being a nerd, but I wasn't into the toys, right? Like I was into the video games at that time. That back when PlayStation 1 dropped, that was what I wanted, was PlayStation 1 and not necessarily the toys, which is, it was all over the place. I remember a lot of the marketing for it, but it was never anything that I was like, I got to have it type of a situation.
I got you.
Yeah, which I think I was I didn't know. I loved it so much, like growing up with those toys and everything. It's like I never thought about collecting them or because I just was like, this is awesome, and I've been given these, and like this is what I'm used to. It's like I didn't get back into it until really I started listening to you guys. But it's like me talking about that Millennium Falcon and stuff. It's like it's bringing up memories in my head of the like Boba Fett ship and everything, where I just remember it had like a handle on the back of it where you could change the side wings. And I'm like, it's Those Christmases playing with those were unbelievable. And I just remember, I think there was a sticker set that my mom had to do on the Millennium Falcon when I got that. But it was just like, I think it was one of those gifts where I found it right away and opened it, and it probably wasn't supposed to be the first open gift that Santa intended. But it was like, I need to take this out of here now. And it's like, wait, there's pieces that need to be put together on this.
I think another funny thing that's happened as I've gotten older is, like you mentioned, D-Doc, people when they don't know, or it's, an acquaintance or someone who is getting me a small gift who's a family member or whatever, a Star Wars thing is always an easy thing to get, even as I'm 54 years old. And my mom to this day still will at Christmas find something little related to usually R2D2 because of this cookie jar behind me. They made sure I had that years ago. Well, it's been with me now for decades, and I have quite a massive amount of R2D2 either collectibles or figures. Like I just have a lot of R2, and it started because of that cookie jar. So usually at Christmas, there would be something small Star Wars related, and usually R2 related from my mom still. And then people, I'm not at Alfie level yet where people give me free things or good things just for free on the side, but people end up finding like either at Goodwill or at TJ Maxx or something like that, these Star Wars t-shirts that have Christmas stuff on them, R2 or 3PO or droids or stormtroopers or Darth Vader, all related to Christmas. So I have in my closet, which I'm sure Ben and Joey didn't talk about, I have a whole section of just Star Wars Christmas t-shirts that people have given me over the years that at Christmas time, people talk about ugly sweaters, right? I can just throw on a different Star Wars Christmas t-shirt pretty much every day around the holiday season and get away with that. I've got a Yoda one, it's of course him saying it backwards or whatever. But yeah, Christmas and Star Wars has gone together most of my life since I've been 6. And it's really weird because, the Steelers, the Cubs, different things like that have been part of that. But Star Wars is easy. And whether it's toys, collectibles, whether it's Christmas in the Stars, it's always been around. So, I don't know.
I always got the Hallmark. So we would always get Christmas ornaments. And I don't have them anymore, but like I got the Star Wars ornaments.
Yep.
I would always get one of those. At my birthday, I would always get a Star Wars related birthday card. You met my brother, and we both watched it, but for whatever reason, I got ate up with it versus him who can just watch on his own and doesn't he got into baseball. That was kind of his Star Wars. But yeah, I don't have not necessarily have those connections that you have, and there's a part of me that misses it. Like when I heard Mass's story for the first time about him walking downstairs and standing in front of and seeing all of the toys all out laid out and on top of the Falcon, and I was like, damn, that sounds amazing. And there's a jealousy of when that was going on that I just didn't have the exposure to, or didn't necessarily want. But yeah, like I said, I had the sail barge. I had a bunch of different things.
You talked about collecting, and I never looked at it that way. I have. Whoa.
Sorry, I didn't mean to present that right away, okay. But I took a picture or two of some Star Wars ornaments that I have in my tree this year. That's one from Disney in 2022, which was the heat of the Mandalorian when Grogu was doing that, when he was meditating on top of when they were getting invaded.
Oh yeah, Trident or Typhon.
Yeah.
And I have another one that I'll share. Keep going, Joe. Sorry.
No, we used to do the same thing, Brent. It used to be my wife worked at Hallmark for a decade. And when she worked at Hallmark, man, we loaded up. We had all those Hallmark ornaments. We've parted ways with a lot of those.
I mean, I still got a couple on my tree right now. I got the Naboo Bunko.
Mhm.
We're gonna get you one Bunko. What's it? All thinking, no sinking. Who's it thinking we's in trouble?
There's my R2 hanging in there as well. That's one I think it was one of the first ones that Meg got me when we moved in together. So that's a special one.
Look, you find different things that mean something to you, and I think one of the reasons, even though I'm very childish and immature, my parents have always told me I've got kind of like an old soul, an old spirit, where I was a person who thought about things. I might not act this way, but my mind has always thought about things in a different way. Like when I was a kid, they said I would sit at the adult table at holidays, right? And sit and talk to the adults more than I would hang with the kids. But in the 70s, and neither one of you were around for it. So I guess it's okay for me to just go back into the time machine here. But it was a tough time in the country. There was a lot. The economy was not great. People were losing their jobs left and right. And my dad, he was working 2 and 3 jobs at a time to be able to make ends meet. And here I was, the oldest of at that time 4. And Christmas, I think it was different back then. The reason they always say, like in those old Christmas songs, like there's toys in every store, that line from It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas. It's because you didn't just walk into stores back in the days and there was toy areas. It was not a normal thing. So Christmas was a big time about toys for kids, right? And I knew they didn't have the money, and I knew it was a struggle for them. But every Christmas from the time Star Wars came out until I was, again, probably 13, they did everything they could to get everything Star Wars that I could want. And so it meant something to me more than just the toy. And then, to wrap it even further and to fast forward, I saved some things, but I was a young, goofy kid when I proposed to Lori. I had no money. I was working part-time jobs and getting in and out of college, either failing in college or, just barely getting by and figuring out my life. I sold a majority of my collection and a majority of my baseball card collection to buy Lori her engagement ring. And so, collecting wasn't a thing to me, but my mom had saved all those things for me to have them. And that's what use I got of them. And I know I saved some, and some are behind me, and some I gave to Joey when he was growing up and things like that. But, so Star Wars toys from all the way back in the late 70s until, Lori and I got married, and then Joey growing up around the new batch of Star Wars toys and the special edition and Phantom Menace. It's always been something big, and it's always been a big memory of mine. But I can't tell people enough that if they want to really just have fun with Christmas, again, go to YouTube, Christmas in the Stars, or go buy the CD or something like that. So Brent is still with his K-pop Demon Hunter Mandalorians right now. More patience than Job right there.
I finally remembered what I was going to tell you guys when I went to the bathroom, but it has to do with it's me on the Veteran Stadium doing the national.
Oh yeah, no, bring that out. Oh, you've got it right down there.
I know it's not Christmas related.
No, I want to see it. Bring it up.
I'm trying to find a point where you can see me and my brother.
Oh my gosh.
Because this is 14 years ago. I can put this into theater mode.
Did you you didn't hurt your knee or anything out there on Veteran Stadium, right? Your legs?
No,
okay?
I mean, who knows? I may be affected by the turf. I've watched some. So is this on screen right now? Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I am kind of like right behind the Fanatic's head. We're all laughing at him.
Yeah, you stuck out, like you just kind of to the left.
So I am my brother. Can you guys see my mouse on the screen or no?
Yes.
I think this is Joe, and then I'm around this area.
Yeah.
But let me let you guys hear us singing, because you can really see us when we're singing. There's our director, Mr. Tom. The Fanatic is right behind us. This is a day I'll never forget because the Phillies gave away free FUD caps to us, where it was like I remember the Eagles were playing, I think, like the Titans this day as well. Can you guys hear it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let me go across here because there's a zoom in where you'll see me. There's Joe.
Yep.
And I think I'm right next to him there.
That is amazing.
Yeah. That's one of those things where, like, you look back on it, it's just like, that's crazy that we did that.
That is wild. It's fantastic that you have that still.
Right when Joe graduated, I did about 2 or 3 months by myself in the choir, and I was like, Mom, I'm done with this.
Dr. Squat still chiming in. You sound great, D-Doc.
Appreciate it. I was one of many, but at that time, I don't know if I knew what the hell I was doing, but you had to do individual auditions, which were terrifying because it was just you and a guy. It was you, the director, and a guy on a piano, and you had to try to hit the notes on the piano.
No. That's nerve-wracking.
It's crazy to look back on. It really is. It's weird.
What we've talked about enough in the past stuff. You guys have anything good coming up for Christmas? Look, I consider you guys all family. I wish we all had time to get together and hang out around the holiday season. But you guys have anything big planned, Brent? I know you've got time off from school, so that's great for you. I'm really happy you get to go and enjoy some you time and do some things maybe you want to get done around the holiday season. D-Doc, obviously the floor, but what else do you guys have coming up here in the holiday season?
Yeah, well, I'll have Meg's family coming in. They're all from New York, so it'll be like kind of staggered, where her parents will be coming here Christmas Eve. They all stay over. It's a really good time. We have a lot of people over for Christmas Eve, where like we've started extending that to like our school parent friends that we've gotten to know over the years now, where it's like some of them are actually coming this year, which is kind of cool. Like, I don't know. It's like Meg's parents, when I used to go there for Christmas Eve in New York for the 5 or 6 years, like I said, they had like a lot of friends and stuff that would come like stop by. Like, it was like open door policy on Christmas Eve. And I feel like we're kind of trying to establish something like that. So I'm really looking forward to Christmas Eve. And yeah, it'll just be a lot of family for a lot of days. And it's always fun for me. It's like, it's like
good.
People like to make the jokes about like, oh, like you got the in-laws coming over for Christmas and everything. But it's like, I actually really look forward to it. I enjoy it when everybody's over here. So I do lose the basement during that time, which does kind of stink, but I'm fine with it. So
okay,
I won't be building any Legos or doing anything down here for a couple of days, but I can live with that.
And being a guy who's been in D-Doc's basement, it's a great basement. So you should all go check it out.
It's tough to not have access to it. It is tough. It's down there.
Yes. Brent, how about you? Anything good coming up during this break? Anything at all that you're looking forward to?
My dad comes in Monday, flies out Saturday, so I got to somewhat entertain him for a few days. We're going to be playing. My daughter has loved escape rooms, so I kind of signed up for an escape room next week to kill some time with my dad being here. She also likes murder mysteries, so she got like you can buy them, like they're unsolved mystery cases. It's like a game, like a real, but like the one that we played, just so I understood what was going on. We got like 12 dossiers, and then we had a question that we had to figure out with all 12 dossiers and like 9 or 10 other pieces of evidence, and like there's just this ton of evidence all over the place. and you got to try to figure out like which pieces of evidence are used to support that this person was innocent, then who was guilty, yada yada yada.
Okay.
So like I mean, it's really just hanging. I don't have anything that's more than I don't have any exciting like DDoC where people come over and hang out and just keep walking in. I might drive out to Philly.
You guys are invited. I mean, if you guys were ever out
Oh.
here, it would be open door policy for you without a doubt.
That would be great. I've always done. It's always been such a hectic time with our family because we do the full thing with my mom and dad. We do the full and all my siblings and nieces and nephews. We do time with her mom and dad, and she just has one sister and her husband there, and so it's a smaller thing. But all my kids go to that. All my kids go to my mom and dad's with us. So it's a constant just going during that time. And then, of course, we have to have the time where we allow our kids to be grown-ups and parents of their own. So we let them
They're
do that.
establishing-
Yeah.
Yep.
And,
They have
and
to
then,
establish their own traditions and
yep. And then you mix into where we want to have just a little bit of time just with our kids and our grandkids away from the piles of people. So really, we're doing like 5 Christmases over a 2.5 day time frame. Nothing wrong with that. I'm completely blessed. I know I am. It's just you need a vacation after those few days though, because you're like I'm beat. I'm worn. We just went like through a buzzsaw. But so we'll do all that as usual. My mom and dad are now to a point, I mean, they're in their early 70s and they've basically said, hey, we don't want anything. We don't get us something, right? So my brothers and sisters and I have put together a plan to where probably a week or two after Christmas now, we're going to all get together, mom and dad, all my brothers and sisters, our significant others, no little kids. We're going to get some food brought in. We're going to spend the evening at their place just having dinner. We're going to watch old home movies and just hang out. I think that's something that they both want is to just spend time with us because we've all established our own lives, our own, plans and patterns. And so sometimes those people get left behind because we're just too busy. So I think they really want that. So we're going to try to do that this year and make that a tradition. Lori and I have talked about next year, possibly like that's an interesting one there. Hi. Possibly next year, Christmas Day, getting finished with that. Next day, getting on a plane, taking off, going somewhere. Because our kids have kids. They're all busy and it's a downtime. We're going to, Brent knows from being around schools and I'm not in school, but my businesses really get slow and quiet during that week between Christmas and New Year's. So we're thinking about doing something like that next year and making that a new tradition. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of where we are. But I really appreciate you guys taking this extra time to talk about Christmas and Star Wars and everything else. And yeah, I wish we could all plan and get that thing together for us to get together soon. But we'll do that after the holidays and after DDoc's done hosting the world and tearing up a kitchen floor.
Yeah, that floor needs to be done by Saturday. So, but yeah, it's like as you're saying that, Joe, it's like it's funny because I'm just thinking it's like I'm at the point of trying to pass on like that, like Star Wars type, excitement around Christmas, So
Yep.
it's like it's about continuing that tradition and thinking about the excitement that you had and maybe just trying to give like a sliver of that excitement to your own kids. So it's exciting. It's crazy.
What's
I
that, Brent?
tried and failed. I tried and failed. He wants nothing to do with it.
Oh gosh. Hey, maybe something will bring him in. But,
just listening to Joe like talk about his perspective of like the Christmas holiday and like thinking of my perspective of me being the first one in my family to have kids and then try to like because for like the first like 5 or 6 years of me having kids, it was like pretty crazy because we were just like we wanted to make sure that everybody was together at the same time. And we
Yeah.
finally were like, guys, how about like Meg's family lives far away. They stay
Yeah.
here for Christmas. And for my family, it's like, let's just have we would have everybody together. And it would like, it's like trying to pack it all in one day was crazy, where we finally were just like, let's just have our own day where we do my family after
Yeah.
Christmas. And it's like, now that my brother and sister have had kids, it's taken some of the pressure off me and it's made things a lot easier, but it's like, it does get crazy, but it's like, I feel like we finally reached a pattern. And now that I've had a son who's almost 9 years old, where it's like we're finally reaching a pattern where it's like no one is surprised by kind of what we're doing each year. Because for a while, man, it was stressful. But
Yeah.
we're there now where it's working out. So
We're good.
it does get crazy as families grow, but it's always fun.
I'm always wondering when that next tradition or when that next step's going to be. I remember seeing my grandmother have to pass it on to my mom and dad to take over, and I'm wondering when that time frame will happen to where I might have to have a big house to where I host everything. I don't know, but it's life. It's going by us pretty quick, and that's one of the things my wife and I talk about all the time is that it's been a blink of an eye, and here it is. Boom, we're at this age and our kids are here and grandkids, and we're like, how did this happen? I still feel like a 19-year-old kid, and I'm at this point. So enjoy it. I do want to say a quick shout out to all the people who either jumped on tonight or jumped on and been a part of our shows over the past so many years, and the friends we made. I hope when you listen to this, you know how much you guys all mean to us. All the people who've interacted with us, been places with us that we've met, all the great people, all the friendships we've made throughout this podcast. Enjoy your Christmas, enjoy your time with your family, make those memories and really cherish them because it goes by in a blink of an eye. And I can't thank you all enough for taking time to just be a part of our little family here. And Brent and D-Doc and Alfie and myself, we feel like a little family, but then we've got all these extended relatives who either chat with us, interact with us on social media, or that we talk to and have on as guests. So thank you guys all for that. And from the bottom of my heart, I want to say Merry Christmas to all of you. So Brent, D-Doc, anything you guys want to close up with before we go on to the holidays?
Merry Christmas.
I think he's got a side gig lined up, D-Doc. He could be Santa right now.
I think he does. I think he would be incredible at it, actually.
You would be the biggest Santa, like tallest. You're a big man.
Thanks, Joe.
I'm just saying, you're like 6 what?
Way to give a man self-confidence. Like 6'3", like I'm not that.
You're not. You're taller than that.
Not much.
I feel like
you're probably got to be pushing 6'4" because I'm 6 feet and you're considerably taller than me.
Yeah,
I'm just a large human being. But what also means is like I'm not even anywhere near the size of some of these college and professional players.
Yeah, those guys are ginormous. But
yeah, I'd say, to reiterate what Joe says, it's almost like Thanksgiving season and Christmas like wrap up together, where it's like it's like a lot of family time, a lot of like reflection and everything, and it's just like I don't know. I just love doing this podcast. We've been doing it a long time, and Scott Rifen always tells us like how crazy it is that we've been doing it the amount of time that we've been doing it, and it's because we all might disagree or whatever, but I mean, it's like Wednesday, Thursday nights, like we're here,
Yep.
It's like, and our disagreements really are usually not that bad. And that's the reason why we're still doing it, because we can usually laugh about whatever disagreements we do have. But yeah, I hope everyone has a great Christmas. Everyone who listens, Dr. Squatch, Hyperspace Heroes, guys, like everybody's in the chat ever. We're always pushing to grow this thing on YouTube, and I think we're entering a good year here in 2026 on the YouTubes.
Yep.
And I think I've said that the last couple of years, but I think this might be the year. I think this is the year that we're really
StreamYard back. We're in for big things.
You just had another Shane Gillis moment. Like that was such a Shane Gillis.
I think we're tapping into something else right now. So
Yeah. Yeah.
we got candy canes on the screen right now.
That's right.
But yeah. Merry Christmas to everybody. And it was, it's crazy time of year, but we appreciate anyone who's listening to us.
And do me a favor, after the Christmas season, if you get anything Star Wars related as a gift, please tag us in social medias, the Instagram, Twitter, wherever, or email us at ruletheGalaxySW@gmail.com. We will post it out there. We want to show everybody what people were getting for Christmas that was Star Wars related. So thank you to everybody. Can't just say enough how much I appreciate you all. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to D-Doc, to Brent. Alfie, wish you were still here. You're chasing kids at your house. And you know what? We'll take a little break and then we'll be back strong in 2026 with a lot of things going on. Can't wait to talk to you all then. Till next time, may the force be with you.